Welcome back, IGCSE team. Today we're looking at representing linear inequalities on graphs, and so I'm just going to work a little bit through the exercise, showing you some different skills that you might need along the way. Okay, well, I'm going to look at this one here first. I'm trying to show the line that represents the, I think in this case, the unshaded region. So I'm trying to say what this white region is. Now, I've got a horizontal line and it's a solid line. So I'm going to write that as y is less than or equal to. The solid line tells me that I'm going to include an equal to in this, and that is 1. So that represents this white region here. Okay, moving on to E. This one is a straight line graph, so it's going to be in the form of y equals mx plus c. So y equals, now I know the plus c bit is minus 2 because that's my y-intercept, and that I know also that the gradient is 1 because every time I go across 1, I go up 1, across 1, up 1. So gradient is 1. So this is y, the line is y equals x minus 2. Now, I want the region above the line. So I'm going to go y is greater than. That represents the white region. That is the region above. So I'm using a greater than sign. If I wanted the blue region, I would say I want the stuff underneath the line, so I would use a less than sign. Because the sign is dotted, I must not use a greater than or equal to sign. I just use greater than. Okay, so when the dotted line is there, you're not going to use an equal sign. Let's move over to this one here, I. First of all, I'm going to write my equation. It's a y equals something mx plus c. The plus c is 3, positive 3. Now let's look at the gradient. I go down 1, down 2, across. No, I don't. Let's have a look. What is this? I think I go down 3 across 1. So this is a negative 3x gradient. Now, I want underneath that line, so instead of an equal sign, I'm going to go y is less than, because I want underneath the line. Okay. Now, let's move on. So for the next little bit, I'm going to be doing some questions from part 2, number 2. So this first one, I'm going to do y is less than 2. So y is less than 2. So I would get a dotted line and I would go across here. And I'm going to leave the required region unshaded. So I'm going to shade off the region that I don't want. I don't want this region here. Okay, so there's my shading, that'll do, right? So that shows you what I'm wanting there. Now the next one I'm going to do is y is less than or equal to 2x. Now, this goes through 0. It's a y equals mx plus c, but there's no plus c, so I know that it's going through 0. And every time I go across 1, I go up 2. That's my gradient. So it's going to look like this. Putting those lines in, so I could just join those dots up. Of course, you're going to use a ruler. And I'll do the same down here. Okay, so there's my straight line. Now I want y is less than or equal to. So I'm going to shade off the region under that. Now notice that I don't have a dotted line this time. I actually have a solid line because you can see that I've got that equals to with my sign. So when you've got an equal, then you're going, so when you've got this bit here, oh, there we go, when you've got this bit here, then you're going to have a solid line like that one there. Okay, let's move on, try another one. Let's say I've got this x plus y is greater than or equal to 0. Well, we want to rearrange that, so we're going to go y is greater than or equal to negative x. And that sort of line, y is this sort of line. It will go straight down the middle like that. Every time you go across one, it will go down one. That's our line. And we want y being greater than that, so we're shading off everything underneath. Once again, notice that I've got a solid line. This red line here is solid, and it's solid because I have an equal to sign there. Okie dokie, let's move down. Okay, I've got to find the three inequalities that define this unshaded region on each of the graphs. Okay, so first of all, okay, I'm going to do this line here. It's a horizontal line, therefore it's a y line, and I'm going to have y is greater than, because I want the bit above it, see the white bit is above that line, is greater than, I think that's a -1, and I'm using a greater than sign because it's a dotted line. Now I'm going to attack this line here. This is a vertical line, so it's an x line, and I want x is greater than, because I'm on the right hand side of that dotted line, and that looks to me also to be a -1. Now I'm going to have a look at the this line here. It goes from here to here. This is a y equals mx plus c1. I've got a +2, and my gradient is across one, down one. So it's a negative x. Now I've just got to decide on the sign. I want underneath that, so y is less than or equal to. And I have the equal to sign because it's a solid line again. Okay, let's take a look at this next one. I'm going to start off with this here. This is my horizontal line, so it's a y, and I want above that, so it's going to be a y is greater than 1. Now I'm going to do this one here. This is an x, and I want x is greater than -1 because we're on the right hand side of that dotted line. They're both dotted lines, so we're not going to have an equal with them. This line here, let's have a think about that. We know it's a y equals mx plus c type line. It's going across one, down one, so it's a negative x, and the intercept is here at 3, so that, and I want underneath, so once again it's going to be like that. Y is less than or equal to. I've got my equal to because the line is solid. All dotted lines in this next one. Let's try this horizontal line here. So it's going to be y, and we want above it again, so is greater than -1. Now we're going to do this x1. X is, now this time it's on the other side, so it's x is less than -1. And now we've got a dotted line here, which is a y equals mx plus c. It crosses at 3, so that's a +3. The gradient is across one, up one, so it's an x plus 3. And we want underneath it, so it's y is less than x plus 3. There we go. Last thing I'm going to do for you to demo this is number 8. So we have a region R which contains points whose coordinates satisfy the inequalities. X plus y is less than or equal to 2. We'll do that one first. Okay, so x plus y is less than or equal to 2. I'm going to rewrite this as y is less than or equal to negative x plus 2. I've just taken x away from both sides. So we've got a crossing point here, and our gradient means across one, down one. So this line is going to look like this. So I'm going to have a dotted line, because, oh no, I'm going to have a solid line. Okay, I don't have a ruler, and it's hard drawing on the computer, but you can get the general idea here. You're going to be much more accurate when you do this on paper. Okay, so there's my first line. Now we'll try another one. I'm going to go green on this next one. Y is less than 2x plus 2. Again, we're crossing at this bit here at the 2, but we're going across one, up 2. That's our gradient. So it's going to look like this, a steeper sort of line. So that will go there, and just connect up the dots here as well. So there's our gradient of 2 all the way from there joining that up. Okay, and we're wanting less than that. And then the last one, we've got a, I'll do this in blue, y is greater than or equal to 0.5x minus 1. Okay, so here's our minus 1. We're going, this is a positive gradient. We go, so a gradient of 0.5 is the same as a gradient of 1/2, which means we go up 1 across 2. So up 1 across 2. So it's a shallower sort of gradient. Oop. Okay, now we have to show where the region R is. Well, R is this region in here. It's underneath the brown line, underneath the green line, and above the blue line. And so you can see it's that little region here. All right, those are some of the skills that you're going to need to do this exercise. If you're struggling with what I've just done, maybe redo the video, rewatch it, and maybe slow it down. Just watch very carefully. If you're still stuck, get in touch and I'll do what I can to help.